Namaste, welcome to Insight. My name is Mark, and on this episode of Insight, I'm going to talk about saying no, having the power to say no. Now, many of us from childhood onwards are taught that saying yes is the right response to give and saying no is the wrong one. We learn that agreeing to demands or instructions will allow us to avoid conflict and criticism. It will please people, earn praise, and ultimately we'll have a peaceful life. Alternatively, we will show our commitment to prove that we care for the important people in our lives. Yet the right to say no is completely intertwined with the ability to have the freedom to make a personal choice. When we feel compelled to say yes, even when doing so does not serve our best interests, then we are effectively robbed of our ability to make all kinds of other free personal choices. Growing and moving out of this tendency to say yes, even when we desperately want to say no, can be very challenging, because we suspect that others will reject us for our assertiveness, our uniqueness, our ingenuity. Or we are told that we may be blocking opportunities. But we should not confuse opportunities and new horizons with pleasing others just for the sake of it, or out of some kind of strange conditioning. The reward we receive upon facing any particular challenge is the true freedom of choice. You can say yes or we can say no. When others ask you to do favours, or when you are barked at or put upon or cornered or made to feel compelled to agree to something, take the time to consider the request carefully. Take the time to consider before you empower their request, their question, their instruction. If you feel under pressure to say yes, consider whether you are complying out of a desire for approval or to stave off disapproval. Two very, very different things. Remind yourself often that the ability to say no is an important aspect of your personal well-being and the verbal manifestation of your own internal personal boundaries. It's often an indication that you understand the true value of yourself, your energy, your talents, and ultimately your time. As you learn to articulate and embolden your personal power by saying no, you may feel compelled to explore the entire myriad of intricate nuances and consequences of the word by responding with a slightly negative tone, maybe. And in time, you will learn that life moves forward without interruption, even when you politely say no. And you will more comfortably set boundaries and ultimately start making decisions from a point of balance, whilst making decisions that best serve you on your onward journey to make yourself the best version of yourself. There's nothing inherently wrong with agreeing to the requests or questions or instructions of others, provided that these requests do not infringe upon your personal values, principles, health, or indeed your happiness. Keep in mind that it is only when you feel you have the absolute right to say no that you can then, in time, and when it suits you, say yes, but say yes with vigour, commitment, and utmost certainty, sincerity, and enthusiasm. While saying yes almost always has a compelling action for you to take, or a decision for you to act upon, or for something for you to ponder upon, you can feel good about the fact that you've offered your wholehearted agreement when your reason for doing so is actually and completely rooted in your core beliefs, your core values, and your principles, and that you ultimately are being true to yourself and you're being true to others. Namaste.